right now, you know, I believe, and I think we were pretty right about January. We said the first 3 months of the year, another learning curve. Just like HVCC was, you move my cheese. We're kind of going through that right now with the new GFE, because the good faith estimate and the HUD one have got to be fairly spot on, or otherwise, I guess the good news for you is it doesn't come out of your commission. It does come out of the mortgage company. And I think that you'll see mortgage companies saying, hey, by the way, my company doesn't want to use this title or escrow company because we took a big hit on those fees. And I think it's going to be very, very clear to those title and escrow companies. The good ones aren't going to blink. They're going to go, hey, you know, we know our fees. We're going to be straight on, but it will be a delay to get that good faith estimate out. And you're going to see a loan agent saying, I need all of my fees. I need the transfer fees. I need all of my costs. They have to be right on because I'm going to be held to this. And unless I want to overestimate the costs, I will be needing the help of a very, very good escrow company and the title company, and they better know their market because I have to live with that. And I think that's something that the good guys, they get better, and I think they get more business. The guys that say, hey, I'll play cowboy, I think they're going to find the industry will say, don't want to do business with you because I can't trust your fees. So that to us is one of the things that will slow down the industry for a few months until we all understand that it's no longer an estimate, it better be actual. So again, the escrow company does not give full and accurate fees. That could go ahead and slow down the escrow. The other one is truth in lending. If I lock a loan in, I estimate that on your pre-approval, I estimate that your interest rate is going to be 5% because I have to qualify you at a number, right? If, for the sake of argument, 30 days from now, we lock you in at 5 and an eighth. We'll call it 5 1/4, it's easier. At 5 1/4, I now have to redisclose to the borrower that your rate is now 5 1/4. I need to send you a new truth in lending, and we have to wait 3 days. Because if it moves by more than an eighth, that's just the world according to Garth. We have to wait 3 days. So that is slowing down the system because we can't move as quick as we used to. As an example, RPM used to be able to close a loan, a guaranteed close in 15 days. We've now pushed it back to 20 days because any of these adjustments can push back the close of escrow. So we think it's very, very important that we explain to your clients what the process is and where things can get slowed up. And I think that one of the things that we're trying to say to our borrowers is we would rather go ahead and take a 45-day lock than a 20-day lock because we don't know what's going to happen. We want to preserve the money. And I do believe it's our job to be a very, very good co-partner to you by explaining to you, hey, by the way, you know, all the disclosures are on time and they're okay. We're not moving the interest rate by more than an eighth, yada, yada. But I think it's very, very important now for us to have much, much better communication with you because some of these changes aren't because we don't want to move quickly. It's because the law says cooling off period, cooling off period. By the way, if we send someone a till and we don't get it back within 3 days, we have to wait a total of 7 days. So if the borrower says, I didn't check my mail, and we don't get it back within 72 hours by the time we send it to them, by law, you gotta wait 7 days.
Can it be back?
7 additional?
No, 7 days total. Yes, no. We can electronically send it,
Okay.
but they have to electronically receive it. And we snail mail or use the postal service, right? We have to prove that we sent it, and the only way that you can prove is through the postal service that says it was out. Electronic receipt cannot be accepted unless the consumer says I've received it, and there's a system to that. But these are the little things, and these are the little. And I guess it comes back to when you are being interviewed to work with a possible buyer or a seller. You know, I think I said to you guys last year that there are no more rookies in the room. This is a veterans hall. And I think that you're going to prove once again that you need a veteran realtor that understands more than just great home, great neighborhood, let me tell you about the schools, and it's a great price and I can negotiate it for you. On top of that, you have to say, I'm a master timekeeper. I know how we have to work around the disclosures, the timing. You're going to probably know more about the mortgage industry and good faith estimates and truth in lending than you've ever cared to learn in the past. But I do think it's very, very important for you to know this because, again, having a strong loan agent that understands the vetting out process is going to be key to keeping your escrows closing based on the time that you want it to close. And I think that, again, it is our responsibility to be a better communicator of these changes because I think that they can affect escrows. So these are just a few change in circumstances. By law, any change in circumstance, we must send a change in circumstance form to the consumer. So if there's flood insurance, an additional appraisal, any one of these things creates its own what we call CIC, a change in circumstance. Now the good news is it doesn't have to be signed by the borrower. We have to prove that it has been received by the borrower. So I can electronically send it. If he electronically agrees that he has received it, no problem. But I have to at least mail it to be able to say it went out. And anytime any of these, I forgot what the number is, I think 15 of them, happens, we constantly have to send out a change in circumstance. And I have to tell you, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, but I think one of my most frustrating mistakes of last year was not fully understanding what a big change this was. And so finally, I sat down we had a team that has been working since August on how to make this system better. So it's now late December, and I was talking to one of our senior managers, and I said, so how's it going with that, whatever thing you call it? And he goes, yeah, it's a new 2010 GFE, Rob, and it's change in circumstance. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so how's it going? And he goes, and I had our director of training in there. And I got to tell you, I mean, as a sales and marketing company, we train for a living. And I think that you guys are I think, in that same boat as us, where technology, we really try to push things. We try to be ahead of the game. So I'm talking to our director of training, and she says, well, HUD has finally given us all the answers, or as good as they're going to get. They're not going to hold off making the GFE. As of January 1st, it has to take place, right? The industry was trying to get them to push back 4 months. They came back December 15th and said, no, it starts January 1st. And a lot of the questions weren't answered. So it's now December 15th for us. And my director of training says, we don't know how to train it. It's too difficult. There's not enough answers. The technology is not there. And our agents are going to go nuts because they won't know what to do. They're going to be paralyzed. And so I said, well, how hard could that be? Literally, they had to explain it to me 12 times. I'm like, okay, this is hard, and it's just not right. And so I then turned around and said, we must do this for our agents. Why are we spending the time trying to teach 400 people a system? Our head of training had to do a 2010 GFE, right? It took him an hour, because he did it right. But he's saying it was so difficult. And we were saying to ourselves, it's so easy to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, the tolerance levels say you must pay the borrower within 25 days. And we just basically said, it's broken. So I'll explain to you how we have vetted this out internally to make it easy for us. Maybe not. In my predictions, it's in there, and I'll show you in a second. But wait, go back. You're taking my thunder. So you have to see my predictions in 09 or from 09, my predictions in 010, and I'll show you what we're doing about the GFE.